The rain had not stopped for 3 days when a tiny boy named Ethan wandered away from his home near the edge of a quiet forest. Only 5 years old, he chased a colorful butterfly farther than he had ever gone before. By the time the butterfly disappeared, the sky had turned gray, the wind grew cold, and Ethan realized he was completely lost. He called for his mother again and again, but only the echo of his own frightened voice answered him. Not far away lived a lonely stray dog. His golden brown fur was dirty, one ear was torn, and a scar crossed his nose. People in the nearby town called him Rusty. Most ignored him, while others chased him away. Despite the cruelty he had faced, Rusty had never stopped believing that kindness still existed. As the rain poured harder, Rusty heard soft crying drifting through the trees. Curious, he followed the sound until he found Ethan curled beneath a fallen log, shivering and terrified. The little boy looked at the dog with fear at first, but Rusty's gentle brown eyes held no anger. Slowly, he walked closer and carefully licked Ethan's hand. "It's okay," Ethan whispered. "Please don't leave me." Rusty wagged his tail as if promising he never would. That night became bitterly cold. Rusty searched for dry leaves and lay beside Ethan, wrapping his warm body around the child. Throughout the freezing night, he stayed awake, barking whenever wild animals came too close. At dawn, Ethan smiled weakly. "You saved me," he said, hugging the dog's neck. Rusty gently nudged Ethan to stand. He knew they had to find help. The journey was difficult. Thick mud covered the forest paths, and Ethan became tired quickly. Whenever the little boy stumbled, Rusty stood beside him, encouraging him to keep walking. When they reached a rushing stream, Ethan was too frightened to cross. Rusty stepped into the water first, showing the safest path. Slowly, Ethan followed while holding onto the dog's thick fur. Together, they reached the other side safely. Meanwhile, Ethan's parents, police officers, and hundreds of volunteers searched desperately throughout the forest. Hours turned into another day with no sign of the missing child. Then Rusty smelled smoke from a rescue camp. He barked loudly and sprinted ahead before returning to Ethan, repeating the process until rescuers noticed the unusual behavior. "That dog wants us to follow him," one volunteer shouted. The rescue team raced behind Rusty through the muddy forest. Minutes later, they found Ethan sitting safely beneath a large oak tree. His mother burst into tears, running to hug her son. "My baby, thank God you're alive." Ethan pointed toward Rusty. "He protected me all night. He saved my life." Everyone looked at the dirty stray dog standing quietly nearby. Instead of seeking attention, Rusty slowly turned as if ready to disappear back into the forest. But Ethan ran after him. "No, you're my hero. Please stay with us." Rusty stopped. For the first time in many years, someone wanted him, not because he was useful, but because he was loved. News of Rusty's bravery spread across the country. Television stations, newspapers, and social media shared the incredible story of the homeless dog who had guarded a lost little boy through storms, hunger, and danger. Animal shelters reported record numbers of adoptions as people realized that even abandoned animals have hearts full of love. The town organized a special ceremony in Rusty's honor. A beautiful blue collar was placed around his neck with a silver tag that read, "Guardian of Ethan, Hero Forever." The crowd applauded as Rusty proudly stood beside Ethan. From that day forward, Rusty never slept outside again. He had a warm bed, delicious meals, and a family who loved him every single day. Years later, Ethan often told people, heroes don't always wear uniforms or capes. Sometimes they have 4 paws, a wagging tail, and the biggest heart in the world. Every evening, Rusty still walked beside Ethan as he played in the park, always watching carefully. He was no longer just a stray dog. He had become a loyal guardian, a beloved family member, and a living reminder that love can be found in the most unexpected places. Sometimes, the world ignores the ones who need kindness the most. But one act of compassion can change 2 lives forever. Ethan rescued Rusty with love, and Rusty rescued Ethan with courage. Their friendship proved that true family isn't always born, it is sometimes found, one faithful heart at a time.